Hello, happy Sunday everybody. Hope everyone's really well. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Cheryl. This is Cheryl Life at 50 and everything that is going on at the moment regards moving house. So this video, this is about the bathroom. So just to explain things, I'm budgeting early. We will have a budget and I'm pricing everything up as much as I can. You can't price up everything, there's always going to be something that adds on, but I'm doing my best to kind of price things up so that I can allocate money to the right place. Now, a big shout out to subscribers who commented and mentioned about the toilet and how we should really configure the kitchen. So we made a big decision, and that is based on some ideas that you've thrown at us, is that the kitchen will move into the sitting room, and the current kitchen is going to be a utility and WC. So everything that you want to throw into a different room, hoover, ironing board, all your laundry, your mop, your bucket, all of those things, and the cloakroom, your boots, somewhere to take off your boots, that's all going to go into the current kitchen. So we've been thinking how we're going to design that. We know where the toilet's going to go now. It does mean that we can keep the back door, which now makes sense because we're not having a garage anymore. So outside I will still take that ugly step out. I want a nice step putting in, but it's good to have that door there. That it's on the side of the house. I call it a back door. So there's lots of different decisions we've made, and we've been thinking through and talking through very carefully. So the budget, it does mean that I would probably be spending a bit more money on the kitchen. So today in this video I'm looking at the bathroom, and I did do a big gulp when I came to the end, and I totted everything up on a spreadsheet. And then I had to have a rethink about what the alternatives might be to bring the price down. Bearing in mind, this is for materials only, so it doesn't include the plumber because we haven't had a quote yet. So on top of the costs, there will be the plumber's costs to consider. And then there's also going to be fittings that I haven't thought about, and bits and bobs, and it doesn't take into account any decorating or mirrors or bathroom accessories, that type of the little things, door furniture, stuff like that. So please comment, because we do take note throughout this. If there's something that you don't like, say it. If you don't like the bathroom tiles, as an option, just say type yuck. Just say it. I won't be offended. I appreciate your comments. For example, there is a tile that I'll show, and you might think to yourself, that's pretty disgusting. Whereas when I first looked at it, I thought that's really retro, it's really cool, it'll look great. I've looked at it a couple of times now, and I'm thinking, could I stand that tile for the next 7 to 10 years? How long do you keep a bathroom before you decorate it? Could I look at it long term? And I'm kind of doubting it now. So I do want some really good ideas from you guys, please, as I show you through. Some of my choices are a little bit expensive. I always manage to choose the expensive stuff, and I always go round in circles with my decision making, so I really do appreciate having you on board. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, first one, the bath. So when I was choosing a bath, I was thinking back to a bathroom I used to have in the big family house we had, and I had a freestanding bath with claw feet, and I absolutely loved it, and the bathroom was so pretty. So I would really like one, but it is £530, and me being me, I've gone for brushed brass, which is even more expensive. So with me having a shower as well, you have to go for a shower bath. So you couldn't just have a roll top, you'd end up with water going down the back and the sides. So this particular one, 5-year guarantee, which is quite good, but it is £530. So quite a few pennies on that one. Next, up is the fittings. The bath doesn't come with overflow waste, so I'll have to buy that separately again in the brushed brass. I'm just going to say brass from now on. So that one's £70. Taps. Thinking about the one on the right now, I think it's too big and bulky. The one on the left's quite cute if I'm going for a mixer tap, because you can have little different finishes on the top. There's those little discs that you can have on the top of the taps. I quite like that. It's it's sort of traditional but modern. It's a cross between the two. £140, however. Next, I can go for separate taps. Now the tap holes they don't come in the bath, so you have to measure those out for yourself and drill the holes in the bath to install your taps. So I can have either mixer or single taps, it don't matter. But ones on the right, £120. I'd just say now that the chrome versions, I think they're nearly half the price. Those are the bath taps anyway, 120. The basin taps are a bit cheaper. On the left, I just put that one there, the mixer tap. It does also come with a handheld shower for doing my hair, which I'll just discuss that again with the next one. So it's £180 if I have the handheld shower, which is £40 more than if I don't. But on the next one, the shower is 450. There's two options I was thinking on here. One is concealed in the wall and one isn't. They're both made by the same company, Arezzo. I do not know why. One has got a 3-year guarantee and one's a 5 if it's both the same company. But £450. Oh. It does come with the valves, the shower valves. So how you turn it on and off, it comes with that as well. So it is a kit. And it does come with the handheld shower as well. If you take away the handheld shower, it's £100 less, £350. So it would work out, what would that be? £60 saving, I think, if I went for the mixer tap with a handheld. So that's just one thing to think about. Next up, these are the grip handles. So for getting in and out of the bath, particularly for Mike, I thought that the longer one might be useful. I've gone for black, but they're all different colours. It does depend on what finish I'm going for, which you're going to help me with. But the long one I thought could also act as a small towel rail. And then what would have is the long one at the end of the bath, and then the small one would be at the side of the bath, so he could use both to lift himself up. The positioning of them would be up to him. He might want a thicker hand grip as well, but we'll have a look at that. But 5-year guarantee, so I'm hoping that the fixes are quite expensive, so I'm hoping that the fixings are quite good. And it was because of these handrails that I realised there's a certain type of tile that I did like that I can't have, but we'll go into that. So next up, I've looked at lighting. I want something, because it's a small bathroom, I want something that's as flush as it can be to the ceiling. So although I like the Art Deco look, I like the ball, I think probably the one sort of on the left is probably more in my taste. The one in the middle I do like, again, that's very Art Deco, but it's only in silver. They don't do in brass. But if I do end up going for silver and changing my mind, then that's probably going to be a nice option for me. I do like that one. So your comments on that as well, please. Next up is the vanity and sink basin. So this bathroom doesn't have any bathroom cupboards at the moment. There's no storage. So I would want a vanity unit with the basin. I went for this one because it has a ledge around the sink area, which I quite like, for a little bar of soap or your toothpaste. Again, it doesn't come with the sink plug or the little cover that goes on the overflow, that's an additional £60. And I'm not sure about the fittings. I think there's a bottle, I think it's called a bottle trap that you need for underneath. And they're about £20, but I'm not sure about the fittings. I think I'd have to leave that to the plumber to get the measurements right and all of that. He'd probably do all of that kind of thing for me. So there's an option for making that a little bit cheaper, £360. Wow! So I'll talk about the cheaper option at the end for that. I do like the green. By the way, just going to say I'm quite liking the idea of a green bathroom. Okay, on to the tiles. This is where you can either say or you can go ugh, yak. I've got quite a strange taste. I like things that are retro, and I like Art Deco. And I also like arts and crafts. I like William Morris. Um, so I've got quite a varied taste in things. I've always played it safe because I can go a little bit mad. But as I've got you guys on board now, I think you can help me out with this. So I do like the green tile on the left. I think that's quite cute. Got to remember though, when I'm looking at this, can I live with it long term? Will I in 5 years' time think I absolutely cannot stand that tile anymore? This tile would be a feature wall though. It wouldn't be all over the bathroom. I would just do the back bath wall as a feature wall in a patterned tile, and then the rest I'd go for something that complements it in plain. Or I might just do the two of the walls in plain, and then the rest I could go with paneling and possibly just paint it. So £45 per metre squared for the ones on the left, £40 per metre squared on the right. There is an even worse tile coming up, which I have actually gone off now by the time. It took me ages to do this video, just by the way. Right, I'm rambling. Next one. So this is the tile I really liked. I really liked this one, but it's fluted. So I can imagine it's going to be a bit of a, you're going to have a scrubbing brush to clean it. £50 per metre squared. Fluted though. Really nice. I love it. I really like the impact of it. But with putting up grip handrails, I don't think they'd sit well on the tile. And I think we'd just end up with wobbly, wobbly grab rails. So I think it's a no on that one, but I like it. I like the green. Next up. Okay, so thinking if I'm going for like hotels, you go into a hotel and they have a really small bathroom, but it's really, really nice, really posh, and it just feels really luxurious. It's always a marbling effect that they go for. And it's quite safe, and it's probably something I could live with long term. So I've had a look at a couple. I like the ones on the left with the long vertical look, and the ones on the right are they're a bigger tile. So the benefit of that is because it's the first time I will have done tiling. It's going to be fun, but a bigger tile might just be easier for me to handle. But if I'm up for a challenge, gosh, then the ones on the left, I do like those. Next up. This is again going with a green, and this is a rustic type of look. So there's two types of tiles again. The ones on the left are matte and they're quite large tiles. And then the ones on the right, glossy. Difference of £10 per square metre between them, with the glossy being the ones that are a bit more expensive. But I do like those. So that's another option, and it goes nice with the brass as well. I think green and the brass does look really, really nice. Next one. And again, this is a favourite, and why wouldn't it be? For goodness sake, £69 for a metre square of tile. £69. Where did they get that price from for that? I think, I'm not sure, but I think each tile has 9 tiles on it. I think it's like a 9 tile sheet. So again, it wouldn't be as difficult. Or is that right? Do you know that might be wrong because that's a brick effect on there. So I bet it's separate tiles, which is going to take some doing. But I love that. I think if I was paying £70 for a metre square tile, then I would probably get a tiler in to do it, and that would be even more expensive because I just wouldn't want to mess it up. But I really do like that kind of look. I could probably find a cheaper tile that's similar to that. There's bound to be something somewhere. I have only looked on one website, Victorian Plumbing, because goodness me, I mean, it goes on forever researching bathrooms. I've been at this for a long time, early mornings doing this video, trust me. Anyway, your thoughts on that one, which, of course, if you did a feature wall in that, plain tiles would go really nice with it. Next up, radiators. Radiator or a towel radiator, heated towel rail. So, I quite like the ones on the left. It is only a small bathroom. Now, I do have an option. I don't even know what the state of the radiator is in there. I suspect it's not brilliant, but I could paint it, put a shelf on it or a radiator cover on it. Or I can get a new radiator for £109 plus the valves, it's another £60. The towel rail, I'm surprised how expensive that was, £250, and then I'd have to have it fitted to the wall because currently the pipes are for the floor, they're going to the floor for the radiator. So that's something else I'm thinking about. And the brass is a lot more expensive than the chrome as well. Shower screens. I like the fluted on the right. It's not, I don't need any privacy or anything. There's only me and my husband. But £270 for the one on the left. I do like it. It's got a kind of retro feel to it. And also, I'm a nightmare for when I clean my shower screen. I don't like any smears or marks. And with that one, you can probably wouldn't see them. So I would be less, what's the word? What a streak. Oh. One on the right, this seems to be a popular trend at the moment. So again, I'm not sure if I want to go for a trend, but I do like these. Is it a fad? Will it get really dirty in between the grids? But the black grid, it does look smart and it looks really nice against green and brass as well. So thoughts on that one, that's £220. Then there's a couple of these are £220, both of them. Very plain one on the left hand side and on the right. The one on the right is the one I've actually got now with the curved effect. So they're fairly straightforward. Next slide, please. Okay, options for saving a little bit of money. If I go for a standard bath, this one on the left is called an Art Deco bath, so it's got quite a nice shape to it. And the bath panels also make it look quite nice. That's £389. So that's quite a big saving on the 530. So I'm thinking about that, but I've only got certain space to work with. I can get a bath in that space and you can get some quite small baths. But it's sort of an in-between size, so I've got to be careful that I can get a bath to fit. But that is an option, and I think it is quite a nice option. It's quite smart. And then the other thing is to swap everything from brass to chrome, which again is an awful lot cheaper, and to have the handheld on a mixer tap rather than attached to the shower. So those, I have totted everything up on a spreadsheet. The last thing I've been looking at is the vanity unit, £360. I can pick up a unit on eBay and a basin. Just by the basin, I could restore a unit and probably do all of that for about £175. So the bowl that I'm looking at there, that's about £100, and most of the units on eBay you can get they're about £75 ish, hundreds of them, and they're all under £100. So I could do that a lot cheaper myself. And I'd probably have a bit of fun doing that as well, actually. I'd make the cabinet really nice, do it up really nice. So there's the price difference. Remembering that that doesn't include plumbing, doesn't include things like door furniture, extra fittings, bits and bobs. Probably want to. Oh, there is the carpets in there. I have included carpets. I've assumed a cost of carpets. I haven't considered blinds in that. Paint, all of those other little bits and bobs which will add up. But that's near enough a grand difference if I make those changes. I either go for something lush that I really, really want, or I can compromise and still have a very nice bathroom, but £1,000 less. On a quick note, that the shower where is currently an electric shower that's in. If we was to leave the boiler system that's in, we would need a pump as well, which is between £500 and £700 to have a universal pump put in. But we're not doing that. We're having a combi boiler put in and the water tank taken out, so I can get away with that. So that's a bit of a saving. I wouldn't have wanted to pay all of that out, and then get the boiler done. So that's quite a big price difference. It's near enough a grand. A grand, which I could spend on a large fridge freezer. Because I'm going to have a bigger kitchen now, I can have a big fridge freezer. So it does mean I've got to think things through properly. I've really got to be careful about what I'm choosing. I do appreciate your comments. Please, however many comments you want to make, do it. Help me out. Next one, I will be looking at some alternatives because I've only used Victorian plumbing. I'll have a look at some others, maybe look at Wix or B&Q, something like that, see if there's a big price difference. And I'll be looking for some more reasonably priced tiles as well, see if I can find something that I like that's similar. And of course, I'll also wait for your comments to come in so I can take that into consideration. Any ideas that you've got to help me get my lush hotel style tiny bathroom. Just because it's small, it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be absolutely lush. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.